Have you ever heard of Jimmy the Kid? It's this family-friendly crime comedy from 1982 based on a book by Donald E. Westlake. He was the guy who wrote all those funny crime stories. The movie stars Gary Coleman, the super lovable kid from Different Strokes who was everywhere back in the late 70s and early 80s. So what's it about? Well, Coleman plays Jimmy, a rich kid who gets kidnapped by a group of not-so-bright criminals. Their leader is John Dortmunder, played by Paul Le Mat, a character who pops up in a bunch of Westlake's books. The gang tries to pull off their big kidnapping plan based on this goofy how-to book, except oops, they didn't realise the book was just fiction. Spoiler alert, things don't exactly go as planned. Jimmy is way sharper and sneakier than these guys could ever imagine. He totally turns the tables, and their whole plan turns into a big, silly mess. You'll spot some familiar faces in the cast too. Besides Gary Coleman as Jimmy and Paul Le Mat as Dortmunder, there's Ruth Gordon as Bernice. Plus, Avery Schreiber, Pat Morita, and Don Adams show up in supporting roles. When it hit theatres, Jimmy the Kid was supposed to be this light, fun comedy for families, all banking on Coleman's popularity. But honestly, critics weren't loving it. A lot of them thought it was kind of predictable and just didn't have the spark of the original book. Still, everyone agreed Gary Coleman brought his usual charm. It didn't really make a splash at the box office, and nowadays people mostly remember it as a quirky little reminder of Gary Coleman mania back in the day. Sometimes people bring it up because it tried to bring Westlake's offbeat style to a family movie crowd. But yeah, it never totally clicked. Here are a couple fun facts. The character Dortmunder isn't exclusive to this film either. He actually shows up in a few other movies, including The Hot Rock from 1972, where he was played by Robert Redford. Jimmy the Kid was part of that early 80s trend of building movies around child stars like Coleman. If you're curious, Jimmy the Kid came out on November 12, 1982. Weirdly enough, there's no Rotten Tomatoes score for it, and you won't find it on any streaming rental service, but if you're interested, fans have uploaded it on YouTube. So if you're in the mood for a blast from the past, especially one starring Gary Coleman, maybe give it a watch.